Now, let me tell you about the kind of man the world desperately needs right now. He was a doctor. He was living in Berlin, Germany, and the year was 1942. Hitler's death machinery was in full tilt. They were slaughtering Jews by the millions. Most were too terrified to do anything. I didn't understand this when I first went over to Poland, and they were talking about how they were just arresting Jews out in the street. And I said, well, there's windows here. What happened to all these people? Why didn't they look out? You would be killed if you even move the curtain to be able to look out. Remember those pictures that we saw in Boston where we had our own FBI snipers looking at the windows? Somebody looked out. That was the kind of situation it was in. You don't look at the windows pretty soon. If you provided a Jew with any food, you'd get arrested, you'd be tried, and then you and your whole family would be killed. The consequences were very, very clear, and they were frightening. So when it came time for a Nazi sweep of Berlin, tensions extremely high. Any Jew found hiding or living in the city would be deported. In other words, they'd be sent away to die in a concentration camp. Well, that's where we meet 21-year-old Anna Boros Gutmann. Her mother and her grandparents shook with fear, along with Anna. What were they going to do? Here come the Germans making another sweep. It was only a matter of time before the Nazis would condemn them, and they would die in one of the concentration camps, as so many before them. No one dared help them, let them into their house. There was too much hate, too much fear. Even if people wanted to help, the risk was just too great for most people. And the SS was coming. This was it. Nowhere to turn. There they sat thinking, we are going to suffer the same fate as so many before us. And then suddenly they heard a voice. A voice called out quietly, come with me. Come on, hurry. It was their family physician. He took Anna and her family to his cabin. It was Anna, her mother, her stepfather, her grandmother. Now, this doctor had decided to risk his life, his family's life. How was he even going to feed them? Because everything was food rationed. You started needing more rations. Who are you hiding? Eventually, Anna's family was sheltered in different locations, but Anna remained at the doctor's cabin, stowed away in a secret bunker on the cabin's property. I can't imagine the terrifying moments when the SS came knocking, pounding on the doors, searching the cabin, and they came frequently. But the doctor was smart. He would either step aside or talk his way through the interrogations. It had to be just as terrifying for him as it was for Anna, because they would both die. Both of their families would die. Would she panic? Would they find her? Would he slip? Would he give something away? What was going to happen next? Would someone rat them out? This went on for 2 solid years. 1944, her mom and stepmom captured. Anna was still in the cabin. During their interrogation, the Nazis found out about the doctor and Anna. Now they're in trouble. The SS immediately set out for the cabin. When the doctors arrived, or when the SS arrived, the doctor was there. He answered the door. He showed them around. He was confident. He had outmaneuvered the Nazis many times before, and this time he did it again. He had moved Anna to another home, so she was safe, and the doctor escaped punishment, and Anna was safe. She said later, Dr. Helmy did everything for me out of the generosity of his heart, and I will be grateful to him for all eternity. Now, so what's the catch? Why am I telling you this story? Because there's a million of these stories, except this one is different. What is the catch to this story? Because we've heard them over and over again. It's similar to all of the other righteous among the nations, except this one big difference, the doctor's name. The doctor's name was Mohammed Helmy. He's an Arab. He's from Egypt. He stood up to the Nazis. He knew, unlike so many people in the Middle East now that are running countries, he knew the Holocaust was real. And he stepped in and faced evil, stared it right in the eye, and saved a family. That flies in the face about just about every societal rule at the time, and he did it. Well, he has been inducted as one of the righteous among the nations, Dr. Helmy, the first Egyptian In fact, he's the first Arab to be named part of the righteous among the nations. Imagine that, an Arab saving the life of a Jew. Why? Why? This isn't likely in most places around the globe, even today. But boy, could the world, especially the Middle East, use a dose and read a little bit more about people like Dr. Helmley. Instead, we have the opposite. Why did he do it? Because he knew principles and values. It wasn't about even his own self-interest. It wasn't about the interest of his race. It was about principles and values. He knew this was wrong. Unfortunately, when he passed away in 1982, Yad Vashem had to track him down, or track his family down, and ask the family to come in and accept the award at Yad Vashem. They found 3 of his descendants living in Cairo. When they finally got in touch with them to present the award, the family declined it. They said, quote, "If any other country offered to honor Helmley, we would have been happy with it." How sad that is, the incredible legacy this man left for his family. Peace, love, self-sacrifice. Look beyond your own personal interest. Look beyond the interest of your country. He risked his own life because he believed and was motivated by his values that I would imagine sounded a little bit like ours, that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. If he were motivated by his own interest, he wouldn't have saved anyone. It would have been too risky. Everyone should know this story. Everyone should know this story, especially in the Middle East. So the kids would follow that example. They would know that the Holocaust was real and that an Arab did indeed save a Jew. Maybe, if that happened, the next generation of Palestinians and Jews would not know hate. They would love one another. And if we all knew this story, maybe, just maybe, we would all begin to change the world.